Hi, my name is Brian Bethel, and this is my review of Star Wars X-Wing the miniature game. And I'm going to dedicate this video to Axel Wayne Wiemer, who is a big fan of Star Wars. He's been a big fan his whole entire life. He loves Star Wars games, so this is for Axel Wayne Wiemer, and this is the Star Wars X-Wing miniature game. Alright, here we go. Alright, so this is the Star Wars X-Wing miniature game. Alright, and the Star Wars X-Wing miniature game is a game about miniatures. So you have, of course, the Rebels and the Imperials, and they move around on the board. Each one of these fighters or ships, have different point values. You use that point value to put more than one ship, so you can put like 2 TIE fighters versus an X-Wing. These ships have different abilities, they have different ways to attack. Some of the ships, all the ships come with different cards. And these cards all have a point value on them. So this is an A-Wing. So the A-Wing has 17 points. The A-Wing, this one here, is a prototype pilot. It's got a piloting skill of 1 with an attack of 2, an agility of 3, a hull of 2, and shields of 2. Now, how this works is you have an attack of 2. So the attack of 2, you have 2 attack dice. And on these attack dice, they have regular hits. These are just normal regular hits. Then they have a critical hit, and a critical hit will actually do major damage to the ship. It could end up making the ship go on fire. It might actually give extra damage and blow up the ship. The critical ship does a whole bunch of extra stuff. Then you have your focus. Different ships have different abilities. Your focus ability will maybe add, more attack or any number of things. It all depends on what you put on your ship. And then you have just a miss. So this means actually nothing if anything rolls on those. So you have your hit, your crit, and then your focus. Okay? So that's your attack dice. They're red. They correspond with your attack on your ship. So your ship being a 2, he would be able to roll 2 attack dice. If you look at the X-Wing, now the X-Wing, let's turn it around. Your X-Wing has an attack of 3. So the X-Wing would use 3 attack dice instead of 2. Where if you look at like Darth Vader's ship, real quick, Darth Vader's ship has an attack of just 2. Ooh, it's really hard to see. Sorry about the shadows. But if you see the red? So Darth Vader only has an attack of 2. So he would only be able to roll 2 dice instead of 3. So when he attacks, he only does the 2. Alright, and then the next number that you see down there is green, and that's your agility. That's how much the ship can dodge. Okay? And then your dodge dice, they look like this. These are your dodge dice. Or your agility dice, I mean. So all of your dice, all of these have misses, so they don't do anything on there. Then a little squiggly line like this, these are dodges. So if they roll that, they dodge. So if you see like a hit dice, so that hits, this hits, and then you have the dodge, so then the dodges, these two both cancel each other out and mean nothing. Then like this would, if that was a hit, that with that dodge would cancel out nothing, go into nothing. So then let's say you rolled a 0, and the attacker still rolled another hit. So it looks like that. You have a hit, a hit, a hit, a dodge, and then you have a miss. Well, that miss means that this hit gets through. So out of the 3 dice, you would have 1 attack would actually make it through and hit the ship. So you got the 3 dodge dice, and then you have your hit dice. That's what these 2 colors mean. The red hit, the green is dodge. the yellow is your hull, so that's how much health points that your ship has. So like on your X-Wing, it's got 3 hull. So with it having 3 hull, it's got 3 HP. And then it's also got 2 shields. Your shields go, anytime you take any damage, it does your shields first. So it has your shields, which are represented with these tokens. So you have 2 shields with your X-Wing, right? Now, every time you take a hit, your shield goes down first, then your second shield will go down, then it goes to the yellow number, and the yellow number is your hull. Once the yellow number reaches 0, your ship is blown up, game over, it goes off the board. The other guy wins. Alright? And then I'll show you a couple different cards that I have here. These are all just A-Wings. These are all the different A-Wings that I have. You know, and different pilots. So like this, Arvel Sinrid is an A-Wing pilot with a piloting skill of 6. This A-Wing pilot is a prototype pilot. He's only got an ability of 1. So 6 moves first. So this guy would be able to move before this guy because his piloting skill is 6. His piloting skill is 1. So he gets to move first. And then, here we go. Then you have, then here we go. Then we got the 23. So he's got a pilot, or this card, or this ship costs 23 points. Where this ship only costs 17. So for this guy to come out, you need to have 23 points. Well, if you're working on a game where you only have a beginning starting point value of 50, you're only going to be able to bring out 2 A-Wings. Where if you had a 50 point game, you would be able to bring out 3. 1, 2, 3, 17, 21. Okay. Well, maybe a bad idea, but you get the idea. So you have that. Okay. So then we have other ships. We have more A-Wings. Then I have some X-Wings. These are all just different, Wedge, Luke Skywalker. They have a different point value of 28 and 29. Here's a Biggs with a point value of 25. Then we have, Grevenduris, Red Squadron. Here's Rookie Pilots. Rookie Pilots. He's only got 21. So the X-Wings cost a lot of points to bring out. Here's some Y-Wings. We have Y-Wing here with a 25 value. Here's another Gold Squadron with only 18. Here's Dutch Vandier. Dutch Vandier has a 23. So he's he's a little bit more of a stronger pilot, and his piloting skill is 6, where Gold Squadron is only 2. So with his being higher, he of course has more points to bring out. And then here's Gray Squadron. Gray Squadron only has 4, but costs 20 to bring out. Then here we have the YT-33, or also known as the Millennium Falcon. And it's Han Solo. Han Solo has 9 points, or his piloting skill is 9, and he costs 46. So see, 46 versus 18. If you were doing a 50-point game, Han Solo would be your only character you'd be able to bring out, because he's all 46 points out of 50, versus being able to bring out like 3 of these guys, the Gold Squadrons. Okay, so then this is just Chewbacca. Chewbacca is 42 versus 46, piloting skill of 5 versus a piloting skill of 6. Then there's Lando Calrissian, who is a piloting skill of 7, with a point value of 44. And then we got here is the Outer Rim Smuggler. He's got only a piloting skill of 1, but point value of 27. Then here's some B-Wings. This is just a regular pilot with 2 piloting skill, but 22. So you see, the Millennium Falcon is still a much higher point value. And then here's some more B-Wings with the Dagger Squadron. So they have a squadron, or a piloting skill of 4. and 24, and just like here with 3 attacks, so he would be rolling 3 attack dice, and he would only be defending with 1. Because see, if you look, he's got 1 agility. So if somebody shoots at him, he only gets to defend with 1 dice, and that's it. So then you have the B-Wing with a 2, and the B-Wing only has 2 agility. And then the Dagger Squadron pilot has a B-Wing of 4. So, and we have a couple other B-Wings, so different guys along the way. And then we have the Hawk 290. The Hawk 290, that is a video game character, so he's from the expanded universe. And he's just a rebel operative. He's got a piloting skill of 2 with 16. The rank Garnet, Rourke Garnet, has piloting of 4 and a 9. This ship only has 1 shield, 2 or 4 hull, agility of 2. So unlike the B-Wing, whose agility is 1, he's got an agility of 2, so it means he can roll 2 defensive dice, but he only gets 1 attack. So he's only got 1 attack dice versus the B-Wing, who has 3 attack dice. So they got the 3 of them. Okay. And then there's just more little things, a couple more stuff. These are just some more pilots. He's got a piloting skill of 8, 25 points. Kyle's from the expanded universe. Well, they're all from the expanded universe, but Kyle was the guy that was in the video game, Kyle Katarn, with 6 and 21. And then I have here in the back of the book, I have all of my TIE fighters. So I have all the different TIE fighters, and I have like the Black Squadron TIE fighter. Black Squadron was only got a piloting skill of 4, but look at how cheap they are. They're only 14. That's why you can bring out a whole bunch of these guys. If you had a 50-point game, you can bring out 3, 4 of them. Depending on how you end up working out your points, you can bring out just a squadron of these guys. That's why I have 4 of them. So if I brought out 4 of them, you can go and just bring out just wave of guys onto the board. Here's the Academy pilot. He's only got a 12, and a 1 piloting skill, 1 piloting skill, 12. He's got no shields, 3 hull, 3 agility. So you do the 3 agility dice, and then you'd only have 2 attack dice because see where it's red? So he's only got the 2 attack dice and 3 agility. So they're all about the dodge. Okay. And just here's some more, just a whole bunch more TIE fighters that I have. The Obsidian Squadron, different point value. So he's got 30 with the Obsidian. Here's Night Beast. Night Beast is one of my more favorite. I always bring this guy out whenever I'm fighting or using the Imperial side, because Night Beast is really cool. He's got 5 piloting skill, 15 points. Dark Curse isn't too bad. He's got 6. He costs a little bit more, 16, Dark Curse. And then there's the Academy. And then Muller Mythal is really nice. Muller Mythal has a piloting skill of 7. He costs a little bit more than the regular TIE Fighter at 12. The TIE Fighter is at 12, so he's a little bit more expensive. But he has 2 attack dice with agility. But then his card says, when attacking at range 1, roll an additional attack dice. So if you see the red, so he's got red of 2, so he only uses 2 attack dice. If he's within 1 range of the other ship, he gets a 3rd attack dice. So he gets a buff just for being close to the other guy while he's attacking. So that's really nice. And then you have other, like here's Darth Vader. Here's the TIE Advanced Darth Vader with 9. And then 29. Here's another Darth Vader card. Here's Kyle Style. Or Kyle Style. I don't even know what I just said. The Merrick Style. And Merrick has a 7 and a point value of 21. Then here is a Bounty Hunter ship, which is the Fire Spray 31. It only has 3 piloting skill and 33 points. So almost as much as Darth Vader, just to bring out the basic pilots. This pilot is just a basic guy. Then you have, other pilots. Here's Boba Fett with a fire spray with a 39. So much higher than, 27. So he's got 39 here. He's got 3 attack dice. He's got 2 agility, 6 hull, 4 shields. So Boba Fett's ship is pretty powerful. He's got, 7 piloting skills, 8 piloting skills. And they can also drop bombs, which is really cool. Dropping bombs on people is always fun. Then here's just the regular TIE bomber. Here's another TIE bomber. Major Rhymes with a piloting skill of 7 with 26 points. And then here is the Lambda class shuttle. With a piloting skill of 7, and point value of 26. Colonel Jensen, Captain York. These are all just a bunch of, Lambda shuttle pilots and cards that I have for all my TIE fighters. So these are my Imperial Navy ships that I have. And then what I'm going to do is kind of real quick explain how movement is done. Okay, so in X-Wing, you have 2, facing off ships, right? So you have this ship, which is the Darth Vader. Then you have like Luke Skywalker's ship. All right, and then you have your little dials. So each one of these have a dial. And at the beginning of your turn, what you do is you would pick up your dial. You'll look for a movement. So let's see. Let's have Luke Skywalker is going to move forward. So he's going to move forward 1. So you've chosen your move for Luke Skywalker. Then you put your chip down so nobody else on the board can see. Now the second player will look at their thing and they're going to move, through their dial and figure out what they want to do. And what we're going to do, since the TIE fighters can only move forward 2, we're going to have the TIE fighter move forward 2. So, sorry, a TIE advanced. So Darth Vader is going to move forward 2 on the board. So they're out here on the board. So now what you do is then you look at your pilot. So we have right now, we have Wedge Antilles. And Wedge Antilles is a 9 piloting skill. Okay, and then we have a 6 piloting skill. All right, so the 6 piloting skill ends up moving first, and the 9 moves second. But then when they go to attack, the 6 guy, he attacks second. The 9-point value, so the higher points, they move last and they attack first. Okay? So now what we do is, since he's going to be moving first, we are going to have him move forward 2. And since he's going to be moving forward 2, just real quick, have you put the marker down, so that represents a 2 movement forward. So then you put it at the front, and then you move it to the back. So now he's there. So that's the end of his turn. You move that away. He's moved forward, so he was back here. Now he's forward 2. So that was his 2 movement. Then what we're going to do is we're going to have here with the X-Wing, and then the X-Wing, he will go forward 1. So the movement 1 is represented by this little piece, and there's multiple pieces. There's a 3, here's a turn, here's another sharp turn, here's a 2, here's a sharp turn 3. There's a ton of different movements to represent everything that's on this dial. So then the 1, what you do is you move this right up into the front of the ship, so it's nice and snug. Then you move it forward 1, and then you set it down until it's nice and snug to the back of the ship. So now it's moved forward a total of 1. So now if you see, they're much closer to each other than they were before. Before they were really far away. Then what you do is now, once you're in attack range, and see the firing arc is the red triangle, the firing arc is the green triangle. So the red, you do right on your ship. So you put it towards the front of the ship. So you count out 1, 2, and he's within the 2. So this ship is within a 2 range. And then let's look at the range of the Imperial ship. So the Imperial ship is 1, of course 2. They're both in the exact same range of each other, so they're both within 2. Now what happens is the Imperial or the Rebel pilot, he gets to shoot forward first, and since he's shooting, he gets to attack with a total of 3 dice. Let's see why it's out of focus. There it is. So he's got the 3. So we're going to put down 3 dice for him. Okay. And then the Imperial pilot gets 2 or 3 agility. So he has 1, 2, 3 agility dice. And then what happens is the person that's attacking, he takes his dice, you shake them up, throw them down on the table. And right now I have a 1 hit. So there's 1 hit. I have a focus, which, and for this time we're not going to do anything with a focus. And I have a complete miss. So right now I've only hit the ship 1 time. So that ship only has 1 hit. All right. Then you take your dice, and then you roll your dodge dice, and then dodge. We actually have a dodge here. We have another dodge here, and then we have a focus. So the focuses mean nothing. The dodge ends up dodging. So this attack with the dodge cancels each other out. So Darth Vader actually takes no hits this round. So then we now turn over to the next round, or the next player, who is the 6. The 6 goes for the attack, so he's now within range 2 of the X-Wing. His attack power is a 2, so he only gets to use 2 attack dice. So Darth Vader gets to use 2 attack dice, and then the X-Wing only has a dodge of 2. So the X-Wing has 2 attack dice, or dodge dice. So then you have Darth Vader will go first. He will roll, and he rolls a hit. So he ends up getting 1 hit on the X-Wing. Okay, so he's got the 1 hit, and then there's the miss. We'll put that over here. And now it's the X-Wing's turn to dodge. So he goes, and then he dodges. See, then he dodges the hit. So the hit doesn't go through because the dodge and the hit cancel each other out. So neither ship takes damage this round. So now we're going to go to round number 2. Now let's just say they're both again in range, wherever they're at. They're both going to shoot each other. This time let's put them real close. So now they're real close to each other. All right, so the X-Wing is with, how close is the X-Wing? The X-Wing right now is a total of 1. So he's within 1 range of the Darth Vader ship. So he still, with the red, still gets 3 attack dice, but because he's within 1, he gets an additional attack dice. So he has a total of 3 attack dice for this round of attacking, where the X-Wing, or the X-Wing, the TIE Fighter, he still gets only his 3. So he has his 3 attack or 3 dodge dice. So the attack always rolls first. So you take your dice, you go in, and you roll them, and now I got a hit, another hit, and a crit. Okay, so this time I have 1 hit, 2 hits, and a crit, all on Darth Vader's ship. So Darth Vader's ship has 3 hits against it. So let's see if Darth Vader can dodge. So then you take your dice, you throw them down, and Darth Vader only has 1 dodge, a miss, and a focus, which means miss. So we'll take the dodge. Well, the dodge takes the critical away. So these 2 match up, they go away. Darth Vader still takes 2 hit. So Darth Vader had 3 hull. Now Darth Vader only has 1 hull left. So with him only having 1 hull left, Darth Vader's in trouble. He might die this next turn. But now it's Darth Vader's turn to shoot back. And with Darth Vader being able to shoot, Darth Vader's within 1 range of Luke Skywalker. Darth Vader has an attack of 2 dice, so he gets to roll 2 dice, but because he's within 1 range, he gets a 3rd dice. So now Darth Vader gets to attack with 3, Luke Skywalker, he has a dodge of 2, so he only gets to use 2 dodge dice. So let's see how Darth Vader does. Darth Vader rolls for his attack. Okay, so Darth Vader rolled for his attack. And now on Darth Vader's attack, he has 1 hit, 2 hits, and a miss. So Luke Skywalker has a total of 2 hits against his ship. And then 1 miss, of course. So now Luke Skywalker, he gets to roll his 2 agility dice to see if he dodges any of these. So now he rolls, and he dodges 1, because there's 1 miss and 1 hit. So you go down here, and then so you have 1 hit and 1 miss. So these both go away. The miss goes away, so he takes 1 hit. So Luke Skywalker takes 1 hit to his shields. So instead of Luke Skywalker having 2 shields, now Luke Skywalker only has 1 shield. So Luke Skywalker is still doing okay. You know, Darth Vader, he's only got 1 health left. So Darth Vader's on fire. He's all like messed up. He doesn't know if he's going to live the next round. So now let's go on to the next round. So the ships move around again. Now we're back into firing range. So now we're in your play firing range, but this time their firing range is going to be farther away. Okay? So now they're really far away. Darth Vader can still hit him, can still hit Luke Skywalker, but now he's at 1 range, 2 range, 3 range. Since now Luke Skywalker is at 3 range, and Luke Skywalker gets 2 agility, so before, when we were at 1 range, Luke Skywalker got to use 2 agility, right? This time, because he's at range 3, Luke Skywalker gets a 3rd agility dice, so he gets a bonus for being at this range, where Darth Vader still doesn't get a bonus for his attack, so he only gets 2 attack. So, now in this round, we'll have Darth Vader is going to shoot, so he shoots, and he rolls a miss and a miss. So Darth Vader, he completely misses Luke Skywalker from that range. But let's roll again. So we're going to do a mulligan, and hopefully we'll get a hit. There we go. This time we got a hit. So Luke Skywalker has 1 hit. Darth Vader gets 1 hit on Luke Skywalker. So Luke Skywalker has the 1 hit against him. And now he has the 3 chances to dodge. So let's see how he does in his dodging. So he dodges, and then Luke Skywalker has a dodge, so he's got 2 dodges, and then he's got a focus, which is nothing for right now. So his dodge goes with the hit, so these 2 cancel each other out. Luke Skywalker doesn't take a hit this round. So now it's Luke Skywalker's turn to attack. So Luke Skywalker, he's also at range 1, 2, and 3, but this time Darth Vader, who has an agility of 3, now, because he's 1, 2, 3 away, he gets a bonus. So now he gets 4 agility dice, where Luke Skywalker still only gets to attack with 3 attack dice. So let's see how good Luke Skywalker rolls. So Luke Skywalker rolls, and he only gets 1 hit. That doesn't look so good. So he's got 1 hit. Now, Darth Vader gets a chance to dodge. So he rolls his dodge dice. Oh, he has a miss. A miss, and another miss. Uh-oh, but he's got 1 dodge. So 1 dodge with 1 attack with Luke. Luke and neither anybody takes any damage this round. So they're both in the next round. We're going to go and they're going to move. We're going to look at our dials, blah, blah, blah. Now we're going to both put them real close to each other. So let's just say they're really close again. Now Luke Skywalker, he's within 1, so there's Luke within 1 of Darth Vader. So Luke Skywalker gets the 3 plus 1, so he gets 4 attack this round. And then Darth Vader only gets 2 dodges. So he only gets 2 dodges versus Luke's 4. So let's see how Luke does. Luke only needs to hit Darth Vader 1 more time. So he rolls and he gets 1 hit. So there's 1 hit. There is the 2nd hit. And a miss. And a miss. So right now Darth Vader is looking at 1, 2 hits at him. So let's see if he can dodge. So you're going to roll the green dice. Uh-oh. Darth Vader gets a miss. And he gets another miss. So Darth Vader takes 2 hit. So he's got 1 hit. Oops. against him, 2 hits against him, and he only had 1 hull. So since he's only got 1 hull, his hull now reaches 0, and since it's 0, Darth Vader dies. Luke Skywalker wins, flies away, blah, 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 blah. So Luke Skywalker is the winner. This is just a real quick kind of how you roll the dice, how you would attack somebody. I didn't really go over movement or any of the other things. There's a lot more to this game. This is just a real quick, this is the dice. This is how the dice work. This is just a quick, let's shoot at each other kind of tutorial. In other videos in the future, I will go over a much more detailed version of how you pick your characters, how the buffs work, how the attacking works, get into a lot more detail on movements, because you got like those movements. Here's a small 2, here's a long 3, here's a real short 2 maneuver. So these are your different maneuvers. They correspond with what's on there. So this is just a real quick overview of what's in the game, what comes with, your attack dice. I will also be going over all of my rebel ships that I have, all of my Imperial ships. So you'll be able to see all the different ships that I have. Right now, that's pretty much every ship that's out. There's going to be a new expansion coming out later this month. This is the month of February 2014. So we're going to be seeing a new expansion with a whole bunch of new ships, which I will be purchasing and doing videos on those. So thank you very much and enjoy the rest of my video.